Hello, it is 8:41 in night and such. Yes, I'm back. After 10 months of uploading last time, I have returned and this time decided, fuck scripts. I know I shouldn't swear at the very start of videos and such, but who cares at this point? I'm just gonna do this just for the hell of it because honestly, I want to get content out as much as I can at least. Maybe I can get a standing, but really I'm not going to really take this too seriously. Just being 100% honest. So this is like the only game I'm going to try to do. Maybe I can try to finish it so that way I can move on to another game. I'll try to find a way to find something more interesting instead of doing this. But yeah. Let's get started back to where we left off. I believe it was this one. Where were we at? Okay, so yeah, we just got here, basically. And I was doing a stupid voice that was absolutely annoying, and yeah, I'm thinking not to do that, because this is like a stupid idea. Again, I had a script for that previous video, and it just didn't work out, so we're just winging it now. Who cares? And I could just cut things out if I don't like certain things. If I F up, I'm just gonna try my best to cut them out. So yeah, prepare for scuff, and if at least right there, for instance, that scuff right there. Just prepare for that, okay? We're gonna be like or Monarch, I should say. We're just gonna be exactly like Monarch. All right, let's see where we can go. I think I'm barely starting to find out who to date. I think it's been a while, long while, 10 months exactly. I can't believe it's been that long. Holy crap. So, I believe we're just trying to find some new people and just chat with them. And we'll just see how good my voice is. Because all this is basically just practice for me to become a voice actor. And also, sorry for bad audio quality. Just a heads up on that. That's a bit too much information, isn't it? Alright. Back to swinging things. My hand barely touches the counter before the bartender is right in front of me. From here I can see that his uniform, while dapper, is clearly tailored for the club. His sleeveless vest and cuffed wrist. Like I said, prepare for scuff. Alright, fucking up. On the freaking first thing. I just got off work, okay, so this is why it sucks. Alright, cuff wrists are capped by a revealing tuxedo-style brief as well. Despite a state of near undress. Fuck! We're going with it, I don't care. He seems quite chipper and buffs down the counter in front of me with a rag. What am I feeling for Jax? Very flamboyant, he's very twink-like. But he's also pretty muscular from what it looks like. Alright, let's try this one. Welcome to Amorous, hottest club in town. I'm Jax, and I'll be your beverage artisan this evening. Almost messed up that freaking line. He winks at me before continuing. What can I do for you? I mean, obviously, he's a bartender. Gotta go for a drink. As I slide into one of the stools, he set a glass in front of me. I think I'll have a drink. I'd like a drink. I can't read, even though I have glasses. What did you have in mind? I'll go for anything. After a moment's consideration, I decided if I was going to try something new tonight, I might as well be adventurous. I put the drink menu down and smiled at the bartender. You know what? Surprise me. His smile lit up immediately, eyes twinkling with a little mischief, leaned towards me, and he whispered in a what does that say? Conspiratorial tone? I don't know that word, I'll be honest. You absolutely sure? Do it! I opened my mouth to speak when he leaned forward and pressed his finger against his Cheshire-like grin. Scuff. Nope. Too late. flicking his wrist to settle his cuffs, he began. His hand slid beneath the bar, wrist over wrist, and in a single motion he drew out 2 bottles. Flipping both upside down and forward, he poured a shot into the glass before me before flipping them over his fingers like an action movie pistol, setting them down on the bar and releasing them. Jesus Christ. Okay, that almost messed that up, but we got it. Next his hips shifted as I noticed his tail wrapping around the neck of the 3rd bottle, lifting it smoothly off the shelf behind him, letting it roll down the full length of his tail to the small of his back. Ugh. Impressive. Didn't mean to sound disgusted, but you get the point. His right hand snagged the bottle by the neck, bringing it to the front. He gave it a quick shake with his wrist before flipping it over in the index finger, setting it down with the others. With another quick hip shift, his tail wrapped around the 4th bottle and launched it into the air. His eye went wide as almost completely through the arc. He cut the bottle by the neck, held it an inch or 2 above the glass before giving it 2 shakes. Quick shakes. He tossed the bottle back behind him with a grin as it sailed straight back towards his tail tip. While it snagged around it, the bottle shifted just enough that I could see it. Oh my gosh! Ugh. Anyway. His expression went from joy to horror as it smashed into the floor behind him. Oof. Damn it. It's going to come out of my pay. It's going to come out of my check. He gave me a good show, so obviously I would pay for it anyway. Just being honest. My hand went immediately to my wallet, and I placed it down on the bar. Put it on my tab. You sure about that? That was a $45 bottle of booze. It's not like I'm going to lose my job over it, because I hope I won't. Dude, Jesus Christ. Like, seriously? I was working a shit job if they're gonna fire you for that. Then again, I can kind of relate. He looked flustered for a second and composed himself. It's my bad, really. Job hazard. I couldn't ask you to cover this. I smiled. It's a good thing you didn't, then. Oh god, excuse me. I laid out a 50 on the bar in front of him. You... Wait, what? You're serious? I don't. Congratulations are in order. You actually got me to shut up for a second. I'm just completely blown away by this. It's not a big deal. You gave me a fantastic show. I mean, wow, exactly what I said. You gave me such a good show. I didn't even know people could do that kind of thing. You're not helping me with the whole looking professional thing here, you know. He grinned and put away the remaining bottles. Drinks on me. Totally. You've just been too sweet of a customer to charge for one of my experiments. I'll get you your change. Let's refuse it. Think that's how it goes. You earned it. All of it. Fair and square. That was mind-blowing. Your admiration is thanks enough, but I do think you forgot something. My voice is slightly changing for Jack. I just realized that. Oof. That's fine. I furrowed a brow as I put my hand back in my wallet. He smiled and slid a slip of paper over to me. Oh shit! I think you'll know what to do with that. As he moved to the next customer, I flipped the paper over to see a phone number with his name. In an embellished script below it, I slipped the paper into my pocket. I'll be able to call Jackson tonight to meet up again sometime. Oh! Well, we got the bartender. God. What a terrible start. 10 minutes into the video, and that was the first start of it. Alright, that's fine. We can continue going. I'm trying to think. They're right here. Let's talk to them. Back at the club smelled of soured beer and cigarette butts. But in some ways, that bead of suffocating smell of dancing bodies and dread antiperspirants. Parking lot back had a handful of others catching these off waterfronts. Some were hanging out of their cars. at their cars, taking a smoke and tailgating. Others exchange flirty goodbyes, trying to catch a few more minutes with each other in the privacy of their cars. Sounds romantic. Not at a club. Couldn't help but feel this, that some of the patrons loitering out here were a little rougher than a glitter and short shorts of the club goers inside. On the edge of the lively conversation, a candidate with a nose ring was leaning on the wall to the next building over. Bit of a rude way to talk to a person. His, or maybe her, jeans were fashionably torn but fit well, showing off a somewhat effeminate curve of thighs. Jesus, why did I have to say that? Oh god, it skipped! No! I didn't read the rest of it! I didn't even get to read the rest of it. I went on a tangent, I lost it. Oh no. All in all, they looked relatively androgynous, and the general impression I got was that, whoever they were, they seemed frustrated as they checked their phone repeatedly. Can't believe I freaking... Gender aside, the husky, he certainly seemed in a sour mood. Not my type, I better get back to the party. Nope. I just say this. Standing in the lot, there wasn't really any way of surreptitious. What is that word? Slipping beside the husky casually. I don't know that word. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm dyslexic. Heading over towards where they were standing, they looked up at me and down in an almost dismissive way, putting the phone back in their pockets with a roll of their eyes. Hey, if you don't mind me oh wait, no, it's me. Fuck, I thought it was them. Hey, hope you don't mind me saying, but you kinda seems like you were waiting out here by yourself. Mind if I hang out with you? Why would you want to do that? Honestly, you seem a lot more interesting than those people in there. I might have looked your way once or twice, but you looked kinda busy. I was hoping I'd catch you inside, but figured I'd ask. I was hoping I'd catch you inside, but I figured I'd ask. Husky laughed derisively and crossed their arms. They had somewhat of an accent. Not too thick, but with a tint of something old country. New England, maybe. I can't do a British accent, though. That's fine. Yeah, no. You ain't catch me dead in there. That's what's coming from a person looking in the alley. That's fucked up. I'll do this one. Takes all sorts, I guess. If your friends aren't into the club scene, I guess no one is blaming them. Wrong. Though I have to ask, if you hit the club, why are you doing out here in the parking lots? Safest place downtown, dude. Club bouncers always prowling about and oh god damn it! I got my car jacked last year. Safer to park it here in the park. The parking's free too. I was waiting on a friend. We were gonna go for a night ride. Guess that plan went to shit cause he hasn't replied in ages. That sucks. Smart idea though, park it somewhere with visibility. I mean, thanks dude. I saw it in a crime show once. Do you always call everyone dude? Dude's just a dude. Big dudes, little dudes, good dudes. It's not a gender thing. I call everyone dude, especially when I don't know their names. Fair enough. I'm Fernie. I'm gonna change that soon to Mint. If that helps. Husky didn't really seem the type to shake hands or anything. They nodded and smiled all the same. You're a bit of a stick in the mud, aren't you? Fine. No more duding. I'm Lex, by the way. Just say this one. No, don't care. Same. Again, I'm planning on changing the name, if I can. Do it off screen. Lex actually did offer their hand and shake. The husky seemed a lot less frustrated now. They leaned back against the wall again, pulling out a pack of cigarettes and offering it my way with a fresh one between their lips. You smoke? Give it a try. No. Like, nah. So those two guys running their car to put on the top 40s over there? But fair enough. What the fuck? Is she on something? I'm sorry, what the fuck was that? Ah, fuck! I gotta start it again! So much scuff this episode, what the hell? Alright, whatever. After Lex had finished the last drag of their cigarette, they slipped their phone out again and checked something before sighing. Sorry if I got a little bit louder. Got closer to the mic. So, going for all that shit? What do you mean? I don't know, the whole hanging out of the club thing, trying to get people's attention. You said that you're new around here, but you're here either way. It just seemed kinda dumb to me. Hunting down people and dazzling them with some flashy outfits, cheap tricks just to get in their pants. The number of hookups I've seen tonight is just gross. I feel like I'm doing a really good job with her voice. I mean, it sounds interesting at least. What's a good response? You're commenting on the outfit, so I guess it worked. I mean, yeah, this one. This is me. I spent enough time sitting on my butt at home feeling sorry for myself, and yeah, maybe I'm a little jealous of my brother who has a bunch of friends and people giving him attention, as well as other kind of attention that we will not discuss right now. I'm not trying to score, but it doesn't mean I should just sit around happy with friends I've kept for college or work. Because I'm here because the best chance of getting out of this slump I am in. Ugh, my freaking mouse is on the... Shit, I guess so. I guess I have a pretty fucked up idea what goes on in here. There. I wasn't trying to call you an asshole or pervert or whatever. The whole concept of trying to find a new person to date is just kinda weird to me. Fair enough. They just don't work like that, I guess. Gotta know someone well before I even think about doing something with them. Picking someone out of a crowd really doesn't work for me. Oh my god, that is a mood! Oh, that is a mood. I'm not gonna do that middle one. I'm sorry, but like, if you meet a person who's androgynous and you don't really know their true thing, you do not just straight up just ask for it. If they're comfortable with admitting it, they're comfortable with admitting it. Don't be a dick and just try to force it onto them. No, trying to constantly ask them about it. That's this one. So, I saw you checking your phone before we started talking. Are you much for phone games? Yes and no. It's fine for being bored and stuff, but I don't really stick with anything for long. I think those ego pets and stuff, I kinda get bored of that stuff pretty quickly. I used to when I was younger, but the bus to high school and stuff, but since I can pretty much drive everywhere I want to go now, I don't really have the time. Not one of those people who sneaks in a slow game of Pestbook? Ugh, I didn't get to see that shit. Facebook. Sounds like the stupidest version of Facebook I've ever heard in my life. Ugh. Ha! No! I guess I'm just kind of shit at multitasking. Same. I'd never get anything done if I was trying to concentrate on those time management games. What about you anyways? Following those new ARG things you can play with your phone? Have you heard of Fire Emblem Heroes? I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Puzzle games like Box Push and Roper? What the hell kind of name is that? You got me, those ARGs are fun, like Pocket Farm. Not sure if it counts, but I'm into Cash! That's like the closest one to like a gacha game, I think. I never really go anywhere without my pocket console, no. Let's try it. Yeah, that's way more my speed. People hiding stuff out in the woods and following clues. Oh no, it's one of those. Never mind. I thought it was like a gacha game thing. Never mind. It's one of those. It's like the Randonautica stuff. Okay, I see. I don't have anything like that, I'll be honest, in real life. Anyway. I always hate when you're trying to talk to someone and they pull out a game. I'm always like, okay, guess we're done talking. I mean, mood, yeah. Don't worry, I only phone responsibly. You'd better. Anyway, what were we saying, dude? Sorry, tangent. Hey, Lex, not that I'm not enjoying being chill in the alley, but do you want to go somewhere? You know what? Fuck it. Sure. What did you have in mind? Let's go with this one. I think this will give us a good option. Any more fun of mine? You mind if I take a rain check there? It's getting late. Hey, Mint, I should probably start thinking about heading home. You're pretty cool. Thanks for keeping me company. Why don't you give me a call sometime? Here, let me text you my number. A number over. I'm glad we got to chat, Let's. Thanks for that. I'll give you a call later and maybe we can hang out. That's corny, dude. No need to make a big deal. Oh, but one more thing. Next time we hang out, I pick the hangout spot. That's what we were just agreed. You know what? No, doesn't matter. Deal. See you, Lex. Bye! Bye! Oh, she's gonna teleport here. Oh god. Let's just move. There he is. Alright, we already know what to do here. Hello, father. Heading over to grab a drink from the machine, I noticed one of the bouncers chatting up a fairly energetic customer. They seem to be having a good time. The smaller male wiggling his hips side to side, eyeing the large dragon with eyes that suggest all sorts of mischief. Perhaps this was my chance to meet some new people, like Kobe suggested. I just met like 2 people. I just flirted with a bartender and another person. I don't want to label Lex. I'm sorry. I kept referring to them as female because I'm pretty sure that's what they default to if you don't say anything or don't try to force one onto them, I think. Let's just get a drink. I'm pretty thirsty. First things first, I need to get a drink, and rather than standing around like I was waiting for them to move, I put some money into the machine and leaned on the wall next to the tall staff member and pressed for a simple water since the machine was mostly full of snacks. I suppose with the bar downstairs, they don't need much up here. Isn't there like an upstairs pole too that has like a bar center too? Bob popped out of the machine and I gave it a few sips, taking in the atmosphere of Amorous without interjecting too soon in the conversation between the other two. It felt relaxing being here. The beat of the music in the back of my head, the cool sensation of the drink on my throat, kinky. It wasn't so bad after all, even if the press of people downstairs was maybe a bit much for a newbie. The other two continued their conversation. Fucking Christ, it's like we're a stalker. Is that so? You know, Rose, you do this every weekend. Wasn't it what's in it for me this time? Maybe I shouldn't do that voice for Zenith. I'm trying to think. I did a deeper voice for him. What's in it for you? Well, how about this? Small avian leaned up, hand on the dragon's chest, swishing his hips the whole time. He whispered into his ear as the large male leaned over, a grin lighting his gruff features for a few moments later. Now that was a winning smile, even if the smaller guy and him were clearly involved in the intimate way they touched when he whispered. Shit. Before I realized it, the security guard had turned to me. He had that wide... burpee, sorry. That wide grin still on his handsome features. God, I am just simping for this man, aren't I? I just keep reading the dialogue. It's like, I'm just absolutely simping for him. It's kind of true how I feel about the actual character too. Teeth glinting in the bright light of the club. I caught a glance at his name tag. Zenith, the other guy in the tight shorts, stood beside him. A pixie-esque glint in his eyes. Well. I don't think I've seen you around here before. And trust me, I would have noticed someone as cute as you. You know, just go with that voice. Fuck it. I mean, Submissively? Nah, I do playfully. Hearing those words, I can't help but return a grin back at the guy. If they wanted to play this game, I was down. I cleared my throat, letting a word drip with a suggestive tone as I eyed Zenith and situated myself between the two of them. Yeah? I'm surprised I didn't see someone as handsome as you sooner. Though I can understand you were already pretty distracted from your friend here. I don't blame you then. Nailed it. Dragon's eyes narrowed for a moment. However, that grin never leaves his face. He even smiled and stepped up, giving the security guy something to watch as he looked over me, appraising and I smiled softly, running my hand down the fabric of his hip. Jesus Christ, I should not have chosen this option. You must have been bored in those, huh? Is it hard to get you out of them again? I can't believe I'm doing this again. I don't remember doing this the first time, but oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Christ! He gave a little gasp at my touch, biting his lower lip in response. I couldn't help but feel that despite my boldness, I said baldness, dyslexia, that gasp was more than a little fate for Zenith's benefits. Look at the newbie, huh? I like your spunk. Think you can keep up with me and Rose, though? I'd rather just have you than a twink, I'll be honest. If I've learned anything from certain games like this, never trust the twink. Zenith moved closer, reaching an arm around both his friend and me at the same time. Oh my god. Before I could react, I was pulled up against his chest. Maybe being cheek to peck was a little premature, but I suppose I did instigate. I almost said interrogate. That's a whole different meaning. The other guy rose, made a little eep noise before snuggling up, winking at me with a smirk. Jesus fuck. I think I'll measure up. The name's Mint, by the way. I'm gonna change it. Gotta remember to change it. Mint, eh? Well, I go by Zenith. Think we found what we're looking for, Rose? The kind of person they've been looking for? That sentence ran through my head a few times. I guess being bold does get you somewhere, like Kobe said. Oof. The avian in the belly, in the top, Rose, by the sound of it, eyed me up a few times and nodded. There's a sultry look about him. Oh, hand on his hip, appraising me as he gave me a little wink. Something about his look was a little off. Smirk, maybe? The way he seemed to try me on for size was more than forward. I, looking between him and Zenith, he had the same look of playful hunger in his bright green eyes, despite how he hugged Rose a little tighter to him than myself, reining him in a little, maybe. Yeah, I like a guy who can take charge, but you knew that already. Question their plans, keep it dominant. I'm gonna call it off. Fuck this bullshit. I was starting to have second thoughts. Despite going in a high gear, I was starting to realize this probably wasn't a good idea. Yeah, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. I want to try to scream, but no, it's not worth it. Was I going to be another meet and fuck for these two? Oh, great. You know, I'm starting to have second thoughts about all this. It's starting to seem like you two do this with every curious person you meet. Whoa. I didn't mean to come across that way. I mean, I did, but... Zenith looked conflicted, so I felt bad for putting a halt to the fun, but something here wasn't quite right. His cocky expression vanished as he stared daggers at his friend. It looked like he was about to say something before Rose was piped in. Oh, now you say something? Wasn't it obvious what was going on from the moment we started talking? Let me be blunt. Yes, you were looking for a third party tonight for a little fun. If you want to go back to the shallow end, that's in the lounge downstairs. Wow. What a douche. Rose was more frustrated than his cocky attitude could quite hide. Lost the game, maybe? I had a feeling that there was more to the situation than I knew. Of course, you're not the first. But tell me, Mint, do you want to get lucky tonight or not? Trust me, you're not going to find much better. I think I did with Jax. I could see Zenith visibly grit his teeth as Rose spoke. It looked like he was on the brink of yelling. However, after Rose finished speaking, he turned his frown into what seemed like his signature toothy grin. Yeah. You down for rump, Mint? No. Just no. I did not consent! I did not consent! Ah! I gotta start doing that in my videos. I decided I didn't want to make a bad situation any worse, and I could read all the signs that there was something else going on here. God dang, it's like you can cut the tension here with a knife. Look, guys, I'm going to have to pass. Thanks for being so friendly with me tonight, though. It really means a lot. I didn't expect to meet so many nice people here. God, the way I read it makes it sound like... I made it sound like Sebi, my freaking character, oh god. Are you fucking serious? What a waste of time. You promised me you could hook me up with anyone, Zenith. It looks like your charm wasn't enough this time. Oh, I was taken aback by the sudden outburst. The brunt of Rose's complaints seemed to be with Zenith. Had they made some sort of bets? They moved back and forth for a moment. Zenith said Rose had promised not to do this. Rose said Zenith was being a bitch as usual. I was about to leave them to their whispered fight when the girly avian shot me one last glare and stormed off. Now before snatching his drink from nearby and emptying it on Zenith's shirt. What a dick! Fuck. I'm going to find Zack. And don't go thinking you can join in this time, Zenith. Ciao, bitches! What a scene. I had no idea what was going on, but Zenith certainly looked upset. The charming, cocky bouncer that I first met was replaced with someone else entirely. He folded his arms across the wet patch in his broad chest, looking to the side and grimacing as he fought to regain his cool. He took a moment, caught his breath, and forced a smile. I'm sorry about how that meant. You shouldn't have gotten roped into that mess. Tell you what, next time I see you, I go into pod, your drinks. As for right now, I think I'm gonna call it a bad night and go home. Ugh, sorry. But was it really my business? Yes, it's my business. I sent for this man. There's no way I can leave things like this. Brother Dragon can make his escape into the staff-only room. I caught his wrist. Then cocked his head back at me over his shoulder as I let go. Maybe not the best time to be grabbing him more. Console him. Look, I know it's not my place, but obviously something serious just happened. I can't let you walk out like that in good conscience. Do you want to sit down and talk about it? Zenith closed his eyes side and showed me that big toothy grin without Rose checking in on him. But it felt a lot more real this time. He pointed to the stairs and helped me out. And held out his hand for me. Gonna need a drink. And a fresh start, yeah? The name's Zenith, and to whom do I owe the pleasure? Why do I feel like I've been here before? Have we done it in the past? In a different life? I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. I think I just said the same thing twice. That toothy grin never left Zenith's face. I didn't know him well enough to know if he was faking it. Or not as he extended his hand for a handshake. Ugh! I extended my hand showing his grin, playing along for the time being. His grip was like a vice. Damn! Maybe I earned a little bit of a squeezing after jumping in on Rose's game, though. You can call me Mint. For some reason, I feel like we've met before. Have I seen you somewhere before? Strange, isn't it? Must be fate playing tricks on us. Zenith retracted his vice-like hand and laughed again, staring towards the stairs with me following him. We took our place at the bar and Zenith took my order. We were served almost instantly thanks to his staff shirts. After the first sip of his beer, the frustration still smoldered underneath the surface seemed to have cooled enough that Zenith didn't even seem on the verge of punching a wall or something. He savored the mild bubbles, inhaled, and we both seemed to have come to a realization that I'd been staring at him a little. I busied myself with my own drink. I was a little surprised by what I ordered, but I suppose I was more concerned about getting Zenith over what had happened with Rose. Zenith chuckled, rolling his glass between his palms a little. When he looked back, he seemed a little embarrassed. Thanks, Mint. I mean it. I'm just a stranger. Hell, a stranger who was sort of leading on a little. You didn't have to reach out and see if I was okay. You're kind of one of those good ones, huh? No shit. I mean, obviously. Honestly, don't worry about it. I saw that something was wrong and wanted to make sure you were okay. Besides, even if we were moving a little quick there, we're not strangers anymore, right? You know, that's right. I guess that's one positive thing that came out of this shit. Thanks, Mint. We'll change the name eventually. So, Zenith, tell me a little about yourself. Have you been a bouncer here for long? Well, I've been bouncing here since the place opened up. Trust me, I've seen some crazy shit go down that makes what happened earlier look like a party. Fights, breakups, orgies, even a robbery. Well, almost a robbery. I think we're gonna point that out soon, but watch. Wait, you saw this place get robbed? Hold on, orgies? Should I feel more worried about Kobe coming here so often? Nah, no. Let him have fun. Let him have fun. He wants his hole opened wide. YouTube, don't fucking flag this. That's the part that caught your interest. Regardless, yeah, a couple of punks tried to rob some VIPs one night. With switchblades, no less. Luckily, me and one of the other bouncers managed to take them down before anyone got hurt. Turns out that all the cop training was good for something after all. Zenith's modesty was humbling. He was so casual and relaxed as he talked about taking down a bunch of guys with knives. I had to note that his arm flexing suddenly as he told the story, proving how well he could handle himself. Oh my god, yes. It was weird that he'd settle for being a club bouncer with a body like this. Oh, hell yeah. Ugh, my freaking protagonist knows exactly what's up. So, you used to be a cop, huh? I mean, from the looks of you, I can definitely see it. The moment I said those words, he lowered his flexing arm and washed his fading grin away entirely with a gulp of his beer. He seemed like he'd seen a ghost. I suppose he did have his reason then? Let's pretend I never brought that up, alright? Seriously, drop it, yeah? For me. Yeah, let's change subject. Some breakups, I can imagine! Just how many orgies have you seen here? Why did we change the subject to that? Yeah, I'm not gonna question it. I smiled warmly as the color returned to his face bit by bit. A brief but noticeable nod as he composed himself. He clapped me on the back with a large hand. Once, twice, 3 times! Ah! Oh! Hard daddy. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to come down. He was a jackhammer of platitudes. That was likely to leave a bruise if he wasn't careful. More orgies than I think either of us could handle in a lifetime. But seriously, I don't think I've had a proper casual conversation with someone for a while. Thanks for that. I ain't exactly used to it, but it's relaxing. I owe you. Zenith reached out his pocket, into his pocket, pulled out a small notepad and pen, scribbled his number onto the notepad, tore it off the sheet, handing it over. I took it. Zenith finished his drink as I programmed it into my phone. Pushing off from the bar when he was done. English is my major. Kidding. Give me a call sometime, Mint. I need to unwind after tonight's shit show. And you're fun to be around. Gonna head out now. But don't leave me hanging for too long, yeah? Sure thing, Zenith. Thanks. It certainly was an encounter I wasn't going to forget anytime soon. I guess he was worth calling back. For now, the night's still young. I'm gonna keep his number. Ew. It's like, screw you, game. I'm gonna keep the dragon's number. Anyway, let's do. I'm gonna try and get 5 people's numbers basically. I'm just gonna do that. So we got the options. I get the routes already done. And that way in the next videos I can just focus on each one, and yeah, we'll be finished with it. So, talk to you. Despite him being alone at the bar for one of the most active nightclubs I've seen in recent memory, and my eye was drawn to the slender feline, I almost said feminine, slender feline leaning over his book. He would sit there for long moments, and then, without cue, he would scribble frantically in the leather-bound journals spread out before him. Now and then, he would lift his glass from the bar and lean back, pausing to take a drink as if someone was expecting him to. His adorable ruse was undermined. However, as each sip was followed by a grimace of barely contained disgust. Doesn't like alcohol? He's like me, for real, for real. I'm gonna ask about the drink. I strolled over to the bar as he turned back to his notebook, stopping at the edge before politely coughing to grab his attention. He looked up, eye blinking wide and his mouth slightly agape. Clearly, he expected to be a little more invisible than he really was. I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you mind if I ask what you're drinking? Oh, it's a 12-year-old scotch. I'd figure I'd try something a little more direct than usual. Than the usual mixed drinks you'd get at nightclub. It's very smooth, but complex. I gotta give him more of like a very, I gotta give him like a soft tone voice. I feel like that's the kind of voice you give this character is, very soft tone, soft spoken, almost flamboyant. Do you normally drink glasses of scotch by yourself in crowded clubs? Nightclubs? Oof, my bad. Well, I couldn't just sit at the bar without something in my hand. And there's no better place in town to watch, to people watch. Ugh. Sorry, stuttered. I can feel the alcohol stuttering my voice a bit. Though the better question would be, what brought you over here to ask what I was drinking? I mean, the fact that you're cute. Because you look like you were drinking turpentine every time you took a sip. As I sat onto a stool next to him, his cheeks flushed red as he glanced between me and his drink. I don't really drink much. Same! I assumed as much. Though that does still beg the question as to why you're in a bar, particularly if you don't drink. That's what I'm saying. Oh, it's Mint, by the way. Sorry, I know questions first isn't exactly the best manners. You seem like a little out of your element. Seth. I'm Seth. I'll admit, it's an escape, but it's also to help me work through the creative process. Many famous authors immerse themselves in the popular culture of their day to draw new experiences and observe people in new environments. Nerd! Sorry. I suppose that's true. I thought most of them indulged in part because it was their particular interest more than strict research. You don't strike me as a type to write romance or erotica, though. Why would you think that? I mean, I don't... But why would you assume that is the only motivation for me to be at this club? Well, is it because even the bouncers are wearing half the clothing you are? I mean, look at Jax. Look at him. I could probably see his... You know, I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm gonna get freaking blocked on YouTube, I swear. And because I came here with my brother Kobe, specifically because this is his favorite place to meet guys for a fling. You have to admit, your choice of ambience suggests something more than just curiosity about pop culture. I shortened it. By now he was blushing furiously, the spots of red visible beneath his snowy white cheek fur. Despite his attempt of appearing aloof, something spoke about his relative discomfort in being here. I'm not here to judge. It's just, well, interesting. I get enough stories from Kobe to get an idea of what this place tends to function, and you appear to be actively avoiding that function. Well, I'm honing my crafts, trying to push myself outside my comfort zone, so I have a breadth of experience to write from. It's the sort of thing authors do. I'm gonna ask, what experience are you getting? What experience are you interested in getting from here? It seems pretty clear to me that most people here are either interested in getting drunk, dancing, or hookups. He cleared his throat and sat up straight. His shoulders tightened as he glanced from me to the oncoming waiter back again. His hands shifted and moved as he spoke. Well, you know, how people interact, where they go to meet other people. Immersion makes for the greatest sense of oh, what the fuck is that word? What? Verisimilitude. How do you say that? In your work. I've been making a point to follow in the footsteps of some of my role models and break out of the authorial shell, as it were. You like big words, don't you? What are your role models? What role models do you have that tend to hang out in bars and nightclubs? There's a litany. All of my heroes braved the edges of society, trying to find the truth that was underlying, and then turn that into stories that capture the imagination. And the alcohol factors into that? How? So smooth with that part, though. It lives in the inhibitions and lets the mind wander and flow. In many ways, it is the essence of the muse itself, given physical form and robust flavor. I like the voice I'm giving this character. It's funny. Never thought of that. Never really thought about that. It does help me listen up and relax, and I have been wound a little tight lately. Kinky. If you don't mind me asking, what has you so bothered? Oh, the usual. I got laid off my last job, and the vast swaths of time with very little to do tends to weigh on me. I suppose that's why Kobe suggested I get out a bit more, try to relax and enjoy myself. I'd be lying if I didn't have the same troubles with my current vocation. Writing's a noble pursuit, but it's difficult to convince a publisher of that. Probably even harder than finding another job in this economy. Is that the truth? It took me so long to get the job that I have now, and frick, I'm barely getting anything good out of it. I certainly don't envy you the search. Well, if I may be so bold, what brought you to the club tonight? Since you clearly haven't been driven by the desire to quietly absorb, nor are you obviously looking to get drunk or dance, I'm curious to what your motivation is. Mostly, I guess, to keep myself occupied and distracted. Kobe, my brother, very much likes the place. This doesn't... Oh, God! Oh, I hope the mic didn't pick that up. Oh, it's disgusting. I'm sorry. Kobe, my brother... Keeping that in, I don't care. Very much likes this place, but doesn't always want to go alone. I needed time away from my problems, and he wanted a ride. A match made in, well, necessity. Well then, where else might you have gone if you had the option, ignoring costs, location, or any of that? I'll be honest, this is me. I tend to be a little more restrained. So I probably would have gone somewhere a little quieter. Library, museum, or something like that. Somewhere I can hear my own thoughts. hear the insane ramblings. His smile twitched at the edges of his mouth as he scribbled into his notebook. He tapped the eraser against the page before looking back up at me thoughtfully. Feeling a bit out of your element too then? I can certainly understand the feeling, but it's always good to break out of your comfort zone. He seemed to be rather thrilled with his pseudo-interrogation. He looked back up from his notebook with excitement. So, being that we're here in this club, and you already expressed curiosity as to why I'm here, what do you like about this club? Drinking. I'm gonna say relaxing. I'm just here to relax. Get away from all my mundane problems and enjoy myself. I've done that 9 to 5 grind too much for my lifetime already. I improv that fucking line. Who cares? I improv the line. I don't care. Looking thoughtfully, he nodded a few times and smiled. His pen dipped back down into his notebook and added a few more scribbles to the rapidly filling page. Goodness knows I need a break now and again too. Amorous' life, though seemingly serene, is packed with deadlines, creative blocks, critique, editing, the list goes on. Same with being an artist. I know that feeling. Fuck, I know it too well. So we've established where you want to be and why you want to be there. But the big question is, who do you want to be there with? What kind of person would you be looking for at this club? I get the feeling this is a somewhat pointed question. I also get the feeling that there is something more going on here than simple research. He shot me a Cheshire Cat grin and placed a hand on his chest in mock shock. How dare you! I wish I had face cam on so you could see that. It'd basically be like frickin' the click, just like, oh! Clearly he was enjoying this intimate game of 20 questions. Just get to the point. To be honest, I said about exploring the club at first, but you definitely caught my eye. There's a reason I'm here, and I'm not in the pool or down the dance floor, and that's because you intrigue me. Even though I talked to literally 3 other people before I talked to you. But we'll just ignore that! He shifted a whole new shade of red as I smiled from the stool next to him. Absently, he looked away from and just scribbled down a note or two before looking back up, clearing his throat to hide his shy response. Well, it's always nice to be noticed. Though I'm not usually the type of person to stand out physically. I mean, I wasn't sure what was more adorable, his attempts to cover his embarrassment or the light of that shade of pink showing through his snowy white cheeks. Both. Just both. Alright, one more question, and then I really should find Kobe and figure out what he has planned for the rest of the night. I suppose I have been prying pretty heavily. That said, you have been a very interesting character to study, to say the least. It's rare I actually get to interact with someone. I'd hope I was more than just an intellectual diversion. Is that not the case? I didn't mean like that! I mean, it's been interesting talking to you. I've been here a couple of hours already, and you're the first person who stopped to talk that didn't want to take a drink order. I'm honestly surprised I'm doing his voice pretty well, because honestly it's perfect. I skipped that line, great. Like, the way I'm talking actually kind of fits this character, because it's like, it sounds like I'm just stuttering like crazy. So, what's the last question? He hesitated, glancing down at his notebook for a second, before scribbling something in the margins. As he looked back up, I could see his cheeks were still quite flushed. Sorry. I was headed to the library tomorrow to do some research on her story, and there was a reading I was thinking of going to. Could I ever convince you to come along? Nah, sorry, Seth, nah. Sure. I'd love to. What time? Really? I mean, great! The reading is a little before noon, but I'll be there early. Let me give you my number so you can call and let me know when you get there. Tore off a corner of the notebook, My page absentmindedly, and leaving a snippet of poetry in the upper half. Oof. Passed it to me. Thanks. It would be nice to have someone else there. It's always a little awkward to go alone. Sounds like a date then. I suppose it is. I need to get going. But be sure to call me soon as you're up. As soon as you're up, I'll make sure to save us a seat. After gathering his things, he shot me another adorable smile and strode off towards the door. Aw. I folded up the paper and slipped it into my pocket. Let's get this shit over with. I can swear now because it's literally a part of the video, so I can swear now. And screw it. I couldn't help but notice the lion at the back of the room. His face is a placid mask as the parrot next to him seemed locked in a scowl. Ugh, gross. He looks ugly as fuck. Despite my best intentions, I couldn't help but overhear snippets of what they were saying. Seriously? You're going to make a big deal of this? Yeah, I am. What were you thinking? Maybe I should give him Raphael's voice. That I'd like to have some fun for a change? Then go have fucking fun! And once you're done, you can stay gone! Neither of them moved for a long moment. The snarl of the parrot's beak grew sharper, and it parted long enough for an exhale. Ugh, sorry. Nothing was spoken though. Instead, the parrot turned on his heel and with a snort and strode back towards the bar. I couldn't just read that line. The lion tried not to watch as the parrot moved through the crowd on the dance floor. His eyes darted to their corners. Ugh! Sorry. Catching a glimpse or two before the crowd engulfed the parrot. Great. After a beat, the lion's expression changed. His emerald green eyes narrowed and scanned the room as the corners of his mouth began to rise. The twinge of the fear tickled the back of my neck as those eyes settled on me. Ugh. The lion drew his tongue slowly over his hips. His hips! I mean, his hand is on his hips, but over his lips, and two very wicked-looking fangs came to view. Oh, that's great. He crooked a finger at me, urging me over. Let's just do it. Despite my reservations, I felt drawn in. His smile grew more predatory, and the taut muscles beneath his shirt tensed, enticing as he shifted to give me a once over. That's weird. Well, would you look at that? I'm surprised you came over to me. But happy to see you here. I was just about to buy myself a drink. Well, suppose you'd like one too. Yeah, that voice will work. Sure. Sure, I'm a little parched, and a drink could help me relax. Okay, that'll help me relax. Sounds good. Let me order something for us. The lion glanced over to the bar for a moment before walking over and placing an order. Fortunately, there was nothing more awkward than standing alone in an active nightclub, glancing between the club-goers, I said bar-goers. I was feeling a little exposed until he walked back with two highball glasses. Handing one to me, I glanced down to see what it was. Each glass had 2 cubes of ice and a cherry. Ooh. Bobbing in an amber beverage. Ooh. The idea of I'm envisioning with that is just like a very virgin like drink and such with like a cherry in it. Oh. I should sketch that out one of these days. It'd be cute. There we go. I always like to have a couple in me when I'm chatting. It takes the edge off. Might even give you something to do other than stare at me, not that I mind. So, I'm Dustin. What's your name, kid? Mint. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You're sure you're in the right place, kid? Okay, this voice works way too well. What the fuck? Okay, I think this is the best voice I had all night. Okay, cool. Anyway, the name's Dustin. What brings you here? Here, Mint. I gotta read that as Mint now instead of Fernie. You don't look like the type that cruise bars. And considering how quickly you came over, I figure you don't have a date waiting on you. I could feel my cheeks flush as hungry eyes kept wandering over me. No, I just came here with my brother. He'd been wanting to get out of the house. And I'd said I'd come along. You sure there wasn't another reason? To get laid, to find a date. Fuck it. To be honest, kinda looking for someone to get to know. Been a rough time recently, and being alone has just made it harder. That's adorable. Dear God. You're miles away from the right place for it, but it's adorable. Most people may be here for a quick fuck, but some of them are looking for a little more too. Does that include you too? Maybe. Guess you'll have to keep talking to find out. He's slowly becoming Alucard from Hellsing Abridged. If I can do Takahasa's voice, I would so be down to do that. That'd be awesome. What do you mean? Well, I don't do complete strangers, but I don't do small talk, which means I'm gonna need some conversation if you want to keep this going. That's 3 people we've had to do that with. After all, we both got drinks. Be ashamed to waste them on empty chatter. His eyes glimmered a little in the dim light, and I felt another tingle up my spine. I suppose it would be a good idea to get to know each other a little better. Fair enough. Why don't I start? Speaking of conversation, you haven't said much about yourself. Oh wait, what the fuck did I click? What did I click? What did I click? What did I click? Oh no. Fair enough. But there's not much to tell you that I can repeat in public. Kinky. I like that. Let's try this one. So, what do you do when you're not out clubbing? Honestly, mostly things that can't be repeated in polite company. Come on, you're dodging the question. Alright. Well, it's all pretty routine. I get up, I go to work at Man's Best Friend. That's the coffee place down on the promenade. Get off work, and grab some food, and find some fun. There's not much else to it. Well, me and my now ex would occasionally do other things. That's definitely going to change. Water under the bridge, kid. I said that without doing it. But thanks. So work, sleep, eat, and occasionally party. Well, there might be more than that in store for us tonight. You'll have to keep up with me to find out. I should not do that voice, should I? Well, I was wondering about... This is fun, but I didn't want to spend all night talking. Well, I finished my drink, and we certainly got to know each other a little. Well, what did you have in mind? I make this official? It's been a little while, but I think this could qualify as a date. What do you think? Do you think you can just make kind of choice and have it stick? Can I just say yes, I do? Alright, I want to see how this goes. I think it's worth giving it a shot. Well, I can't exactly argue with that. Chatted a little more, the smile on his face growing wider. His paw rested on my shoulder, and he drew close enough for me to catch his intoxicating scent. I think we should retire to one of the private booths they've got here. Really? What did you have in mind? I think you get an idea already, kid. His paw moved from my shoulder downward, trailing back my back. I could feel the claw tip as tickling and teasing me under my clothes. Ugh. I'll be honest with you, Mint. I'm a very private person, but I have a very peculiar interest that would involve you. I think you should know about them. His paw fell in the curve of my rear, squeezing softly as he pulled me close to him. I could feel his whiskers tickling my cheek as he whispered to me, I like to tie people up. I like to control them when we're in the bedroom. I've been picturing you naked since. Oh, maybe a few minutes after we started talking? Been fantasizing about what I could do to you. And what you can do for me. I can almost see you on your knees in front of me, begging for a taste, and you look good there. Jesus Christ! Why? It was hard to keep any remaining composure I had. Between the caress of his silky fur and the growing warmth of in the pit of my stomach, I was getting flushed myself. I can even be a little bit of an exhibitionist if need be. Stepped away for a moment, sliding off his shirt and tucked it into his waistband of his pants before stepping back up to me and placing his palm behind the small of my back and forcing me forward. Oh God, yes! So, what do you say, kid? Between the ample bulge I could now feel pressing needfully against me. Jesus, we're already getting to the point. Oh God! The feeling of my blood rushing everywhere but my brain, I struggled for a response. My attempts were cut short, however, by a sudden vibration against my thigh. I think you should pick that up. He looked confused for a moment before fishing for his phone out of his pocket. Just fucking great! I wonder who texted me. He released me, the ambient glow of the phone lighting up his face in a dimly lit club. At first, he looked frustrated, his brow furrowed out as his eyes darted over the screen. However, his expression changed almost immediately after, and his hands fell to his sides. That fucking bastard! Send me a photo of him with the two guys you just met here. They've been going at it in my apartment, in my damn bed. He's been cheating on me with them for the past couple of months. What a dick! What the fuck? I deserve better. He had his phone back in his pocket and he looked up at me. Look, Mint, shit. How's it gonna deal with this? I really don't want the night turning out like this, but I smiled meekly. It was all still a little overwhelming. I'd like to see you again, Mint. Preferably when my ex is to be a total dick. That's what I'm saying. Pulling out a notepad, he scribbled something down on it and passed it over. Here's my cell. Give me a call sometime. I'd like to give this another chance. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I finally came out, finally. You guessed, an hour and 20 minutes in with the recording that I'd burp, finally. You'd be right. Throwing his shirt back on, he began to work his way through the crowd. I clutched the paper for a moment as my body began to settle down from its high, slipping it into my pocket. I slowly came back to my senses. Oh! Hi, you slut! Hey bro, can I borrow you for a second? What's up? I forgot what voice I gave him. I think it was like my very soft, feminine voice. Can we head home? I think I've just about had all the fun I can have here. Do you mind if we head home? You sure you want to go? I normally go all nights, but I'm happy to go whenever you are. Just let me know when you're sure. Let's go. It's late. What am I calling it night? Fair enough. I appreciate you coming tonight. You have to tell me all about how it went on the way home. It's rowdy in here. Ugh. First time I slept in late for reasons other than being a loafer. Ugh. Seems like Kobe is already up. Either that or he just dropped me off and went back clubbing. That whole thing still feels kind of surreal. Check my phone and see if I ended up getting any new contacts. Or if it was just one of those weird dreams. Alright. Why did I get Kobe's number? Okay, no, okay. No, we're ending it there. We're ending it there. We're ending it there. Alright. So, yeah. Welcome back. We're gonna be doing this again. Prepare for the next few days to be full of nothing but this again. I'll be doing those routes and such, probably dividing them a little bit shorter. This is gonna be the only long episode I make. The rest of them are probably gonna be shorter. Like, just very short episodes. Look forward to that. And with that, I bid you all adieu.